And yeah, working on that.
Cool. I will, and then in the same vein as MLSim and better models, you guys know we have the data push. We got kind of two updates on that. I'm pulling up a graph for one of them. Give me 1 sec.
Also, we have new models in master. A new model, not too shabby. Check it out, please. Oh, this is a dev chat, so I mean, it's yeah, it's I'm guessing everyone here has maybe a comma 3x or a device and drive. Yeah, check out the new model if you guys drive it openpilot. Gas gating. If you have any feedback on that, it'd be nice to get some feedback.
I just posted a picture in the chat. Look at all that new data coming in. So that's even without Sunny Pilot. So the two updates on the data front are Sunny Pilot is now in the training set. So big shout out to Sunny for working with us on that. And the docs are pretty straightforward. So if any other fork maintainer wants to get in the training set, all they got to do is follow that guide. I think Frog Pilot said he's interested, but it might take him a little while. But Sunny Pilot has a lot of users.
Data. There's a lot of data. What are we gonna do with all this data?
We're gonna train models. Train big diffusion models.
Crunch the data.
Bigger vision models, bigger policy models.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so those are the two updates on the data front. So that is just from some very simple infrastructure improvements, and then Sunny Pilot should, let's see the y-axis. Oh, I mean, it all looks like that left part. It's just, oh, you want to know what the y-axis is? That's just number of segments. Like you could think of minutes of driving.
Yeah, we get to see raw numbers, or is that like?
Oh yeah, I can. It just wasn't. Yeah, I'll do that. It just didn't seem that interesting, but I'll grab it. There you go. Yeah, look at that uptick.
Awesome.
So expect like at least a good 10x from Firehose Mode and Sunny Pilot. Yeah, that's kind of the little data update. And then 098, making good progress. We got that model in, which is what we were waiting for a little while. I think we'll end up shipping that release probably right after the hackathon, end of February, and then we'll try a 2-month release cadence. So we'll do end of February, end of April, and keep going, and then maybe MLSim catches one of those releases, and then it becomes 0.10. So the definition of 0.10 is MLSim, and then 1.0, to remind everybody, is end-to-end longitudinal, end-to-end lateral. So when experimental mode goes away, essentially, and becomes chill mode. It's just all chill mode. Pilots in the training set. Okay, so nothing changed much with New Connect, but let's poke around anyway because Azure was down last time. We'll poke around just to see where it's at. We'll try demo mode. So we got this location thing now. Oh, why does it say alpha? Oh, it takes a little while. Cool. So that's where I am. Comma prime settings. Slightly jank for demo mode. Probably want to fix that. We got to make this pop out by default on PC.
Yeah, I think there's a PR for that. I just needed to ask them to rebase.
Cool. I think for these little cards. Oh, wait, that's super fast. But I guess this account has so few routes that it's so fast.
It's just because it's loading free, right? It never loads more.
No. Well, it's also because this account has so few routes, I think. So the route table is getting quite big and slower to query. I'm working on rewriting the route table. But my point was that I think so. This has like current connect has a dependency on. I don't want to dox anybody by loading our connect. Let me see if I can. Oh, Anyway, Current Connect has dependencies on like time and GPS and stuff to like sort everything properly. It needs a lot of information essentially to render that main list.
Yeah.
We should try to do everything with stuff that we could just get from the route table, such that it can load that big list basically instantly, and then maybe we put this little GPS card. I think we remove that from here and maybe just make it a denser list in the style of user admin, and then maybe just break up the list by like today, yesterday, day before, then like maybe everything after. You ever see those? So like there's like a nice visual break between them,
I
and then we make it a
know
more
what you mean.
yeah.
Like how it might be in like your photo album or something in like it splits it by day and then by month or something. But
Yeah, kind of like that. And then we only use information from the route table. So this is like instant to load, and it doesn't have to like make all these separate, like you get this waterfall of network requests, right? Trying to load the GPS coordinates and this stuff.
Yeah.
So I think we try to optimize that such that it's only in the route table. Then that's always super fast. And then if there's anything else we can add, I'm also open to adding things to the route table. Maybe we can add like engage percent. Because this stuff is great. Oh, the timeline works now, right? Yeah, scrubbing out the timeline works. I love how fast the video loads too. I can't believe all the video loading issues in Current Connect are just bugs. That has nothing to do with the Azure CDN or like we still don't even have a CDN. There's nothing to do with having a CDN or anything. It's just bugs in the video player, which is crazy. I like that this is just a normal video player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah, I don't know. New Connect's in a pretty decent state for. Even though we've been focusing on the flasher.
Yeah, I haven't really looked at Connect this week.
Yeah. But I like the progress on the flasher. I did get a 1 minute flash with Squash FS, even though we have to revert that, unfortunately. Looks like Squash FS is not happening. It has this horrible failure mode where if you the whole thing just freezes. It could be a bug in our kernel. We have like a relatively old Android kernel. But regardless of that, I assumed it was relatively stable because it's been in the kernel since like 2.6 or something, and we're on 4.9. But that is not the case. So I think we might have to implement the complicated stuff of like streaming decompression and then also unsparsifying on top of that. So we should be able to write sparse images even with QDL. So Maxime's, I'll show you what, before we do anything else with the web flasher, Maxime is finishing up this PR. That basically will take the full manifest that we use, that we've been using in our provisioning stack, and we moved it to Agnos Builder, such that the web flasher and the one we run in production will run off the same manifest. So we can even flash the user data partition. So you have like the fresh cache, just like we do in production. You don't have that extra like reboot loop. So without Squash FS, it'll be a little bit slower because it's not compressed, and then we'll need a little bit more complexity. But Squash FS just turned out not to work. I tried BTRFS with compression. I was not able to get any decent compression ratios. So I think we're just going to have to accept. We could switch off XC and switch to ZSTD. We can decide if that's worth it. I don't know. Are there any issues with XC on the web with the current flasher? Can we stream it easily?
I think it's designed so that you should be able to stream it. Yeah.
Okay.
We read it in chunks at the moment for calculating the checksum, so we should be able to just pass it to the flash step as well to stream it. But it's like at the moment we stream it into a buffer, and like we don't just flash it a chunk at a time, but we can do that.
Yeah, we got to start doing that, such that I suspect a lot of the issues are like we just use a ton of memory on some of these systems that don't have much, and this is why it fails sometimes.
Yeah,
we should use.
I kind of expected that you would want the image to be like downloaded if you were flashing multiple devices, maybe or something. But I guess we can. Well, I guess you don't even need to actually remove the download part of it. But yeah, we need to stream it. It makes more sense.
Well, if we do that, I want it to cache to I want the memory usage to remain pretty low. If we can cache to disk, that's
fine. It's the file system API, so it's saving it on disk somewhere where the browser's handling it for us, and we should still be able to like read that in chunks from the file system to flash it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and then we're gonna QDL.js is looking great. I'm very happy we did that. Hopefully we get other people like picking it up and using it too.
Yeah, I added to the demo the 1+6T programmer, which does
Yeah.
seem to work as well. So, but I don't know how useful it is going to be unless we had like images to flash other devices. So, but maybe other people find use themselves.
Yeah, I don't know why more people don't use QDL over fastboot. But I don't know. I suspect some of it has to do with tooling. There's not a lot
I
of
think
great tooling in fast.
when you come to like
mess.
actually reset, like a lot of the time you just get like a Windows exe that is QDL for like flashing phones. Like that's you have to download this massive 7 GB zip and it has an exe file and all the images in it. But yeah, like nobody like yeah, there is QDL, it's just not a web version. So
Yeah. Cool. So I think the QDL stuff is in decent shape. I was able to flash in like 20 minutes without the Squash FS stuff. So if we do the streaming and everything, it should be pretty quick. And we sparsify. So Maxi will push. He'll figure out what's fastest to do in production. 2 minutes with reading everything back.
Yeah, with the non-sport.
Okay, and if you don't read everything back, it's like a minute. Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay, so he has it in a minute.
Yeah, even less than that.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool. So he'll finish up what he's working on, like the equivalent for our provisioning stack, and then I guess we can proceed with the web flasher to copy that. It's very sad Squash FS didn't work out. I wanted to shrink the system partitions too, such that we can make user data bigger. We could still do that, just not as much. And then eventually, now that we have our own USB vendor ID, later down the line, I think we should make bounties for setting up like real Windows and Linux drivers, getting those like upstreamed, and then we don't have to do any of our Zadig or command line nonsense.
No, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think. Do you want to look into that and write specs for the bounties? And then if you want to pick up that work at some point, that's cool. But I think these are good bounty projects.
Yeah, it's pretty self-contained. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, I think it should be pretty good. We can put like decent sized bounties. Those could be like $500 bounties. We have to see how much work it is first. Maybe even more. I'm not really sure. Maybe like setting up a real Windows driver that gets upstreamed is like a real. Yeah, I'm not really sure. We had this for Panda at one point, but it wasn't that great. I want to make these like legitimately good, such that in 6 months, if you buy 3x and you installed some weird fork, you just know you can plug it into flash.comma.ai and you have 100% confidence it's just going to work. You load up the thing, plug in the thing, and then it just works.
Yeah. I think it's quite popular now to do like the web USB stuff. Like my well, I don't know how popular, but like my keyboard that I got, like you configure that using web USB, and
Oh, nice.
it seems like it is. Even though it's just a Chrome thing at the moment, it does seem like more people are using it. So
yeah, Chrome is not the worst dependency to have to download. Like Chrome is just kind of going to work.
Yeah.
And the people who aren't using Chrome aren't going to like groan about a thing being like, oh, I can't. They probably have Chrome installed and they just don't open it by default. Cool. So I guess that's the flasher. And then once it's stable, we'll have those bounties for if you could break it. I'll post that once we're ready. And the QDL.js will be a proper NPM package soon. Do you need anything from me for that?
I haven't looked yet. I expect I don't know if there is actually API tokens for NPM. You might actually need the login for the account, but I'll find out and then let you know.
Okay. Cool. Let's see. All right, that's the web stuff. QDL, Flash, New Connect. We have comma hack. Hey Shane, do you want to jump in the dev chat and talk about comma hack and the prep for that? Shane? You wanna hop in the dev chat and talk about comma hack? You wanna hop in the dev chat and talk about comma hack prep? So we're gonna try to get some about the F-150. We've mentioned this before. Shane's getting in here. I'll just quickly go over that. One upstream F-150 Mach-E Ford Q4 platform. Tesla's arriving tomorrow. We don't have a harness yet. I think Lucas to see if we can buy one.
Adib, is it hardware 3 or hardware 4? Do you know?
We got a hardware 4.
Cool.
What else? Rivian. I just tweeted that video out. It looks like the port's pretty good. I want to do a bunch of Hyundais. We might rent like 4 or 5 of them. Okay. You want to take over?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. So we have an issue on the OpenDBC repo that's going to track the schedule for all the cars that we're going to have. I think Jay Young is picking. Well, he had a few cars, so we're going to look into those. Maybe an ID4, and then Sunny had a bunch of cars he just sent me, so I'll add that to the schedule. But I think Adib wanted to stagger the cars, so we'll have some for 2 days. The cars that need a little more work, we're gonna have for all 3, like maybe the angle steering car, the EV9. You got any questions? How this is gonna work?
I mean, you
Oh
guys
yeah, we got to
a
do a
big,
super.
Oh, I'm just gonna say you guys got a big parking lot, but how many cars can you support?
So we rented. There's these nice big parking lots for like a school across the street. So we rented those. So we've got plenty of space.
Oh, good.
I posted in the chat some of the cars that Sunny sent me, so we're gonna look into those.
Yep, that's the plan for Comma Hack 5. We'll have some bodies there too. David California will be there working on his like cool little website, car docs thing. Hopefully we can get that shipped in that time. Yeah, should be a good weekend of progress for OpenDBC. Hope the projects will look a whole lot different after this. That's about it.
Comma should be a good time. Adib, are we going to have like a list of example projects for people who don't have ideas? Like things
yeah.
people can pick up?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Who's coming from the audience? Do you know? Nice.
Who else?
Cool
I think this
stuff.
Tattoo 1000 guy's coming. Who else? That's Maxine.
Tattoo 1000. Tattoo
Yeah,
1000.
a bunch of people aren't in here today. Sonny's coming. Jason's coming. Our top 2 community car porters.
Cool. So even if I don't have a car or I don't have an idea, I can pick up something from a board and try to work on that. That'd be nice.
Yep.
Very cool.
All right, cool guys. Hopefully next week we have a little more in-depth thing. But today's a chill week. Yeah. Next will probably be 098 week. Fire hose mode. We'll have some hopefully bigger. I'll post the data chart and hopefully you see another big jump with fire hose mode. People are going to be pretty excited to get all their training data uploaded. Cool. Thanks for coming, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Sweet.
Nice.
See you next week, team.
See ya.